I know what you're thinking. The drip is pretty fire.
What the hell?
Hello everybody, my name is Epojin, and welcome back to the mess that is my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a Titan Shatter build. And for this one, I'm actually going to show you not one, but two versions of this build. One using elemental shards with charged with light, and another one using elemental wells and shards and the stasis shards as well. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, starting off with the first build here, it's going to be pretty simple of how you set it up. If you don't have the components, I'm very sorry. Starting off with our helmet, we're going to have one elemental charge. For our gauntlets, gauntlets, boots, and class item here, we're going to have on 3 bombers, and the way that we're going to become elementally charged is using elemental shards. If you don't know what elemental shards does, elemental shards is the ability where stasis shards count as a stasis elemental well, and so therefore we can become charged light times 2 since we have elemental charge. Pretty straightforward. It's just getting a chunk of your grenade back. Going over the other mods, we have harmonic and kinetic siphon on. We have 1 impact induction, innervation, recuperation, and then 1 bomber. Moving on to our subclass, we have the towering barricade. I could use rally, but I'd rather use towering because I don't know how it really works that well. Or I don't know how it really works per se. I'm going to be using strafe lift because I'm not a catapult guy. I'm going to be using obviously Shiver Strike, only melee there. This is a shatter build, we're going to be using glacier grenades. For our aspects here, we're going to be using tectonic harvest, where I shatter a stasis crystal to create a shard for me, granting melee energy when it's picked up by me or my allies. We're going to have Howl of the Swarm, so we can create more crystals, and so that way we can make more stasis shards. And now onto the fragments here. We're going to be using Whisper of Rhyme so we can heal ourselves and get an overshield whenever we pick up a bunch of shards. Whisper of Shards, when we shatter a grenade, it gives us increased grenade recharge rate. For our third, we're going to be using Whisper of Rending so our kinetic weapons can just instantly shatter the grenades. The crystals a lot faster than what you would without this. And then we're going to be using Whisper of Hunger so we can get increased stasis melee energy from the stasis shards. Now before we go over the armor, I want to talk about the subclass real quick. So everything is the same here besides 1 fragment, and that fragment is going to be Whisper of Torment. When you take damage, you gain grenade energy. Now why that is because of the combination of armor. We're not going to need Whisper of Hunger for that increased melee energy. So for our helmet, we have Well of Restoration, and then on our chest piece, we have Elemental Shards. Since Elemental Shards count as a Stasis Elemental Well for at least 1 shard, that would proc Well of Restoration and give energy to the lowest energy count at the time. And for the rest of the build, it's going to be pretty simple. You're just going to need Bountiful Wells, Melee Wallmaker, and Elemental Ordnance. For the extra stuff, you're going to need 2 bombers, 1 innervation and recuperation, and 2 impact inductions. That's basically the gist of this version. Also, since I keep forgetting to mention this, the exotic of choice that we're going to be using is Hoarfrost. Now, why Hoarfrost that is because your barricade becomes a wall of stasis crystals that slows nearby targets when created. Now, obviously the benefits behind it is the same thing as a rally barricade. You get increased reload weapon speed, stability, range, reduced flinch, I assume. But we're not worried about this. We're worried about the top part, not the bottom here. So we can make more crystals and therefore make more stasis shards in the process. So that's the reason behind this exotic. Alright, so just like how there are a lot of good benefits with the build, there are also some cons, but first I'm going to talk about the pros. So, both builds are viable in solo content from low to mid, without a doubt in my mind. It's just really fun to play and generally just a good build overall. Both builds, in fact, are good together since they complement each other off of stasis shards for their build. So for example, the firepower one depends on shards to become charged with light. The other build relies on shards to get ability energy, and so on and so forth. And overall, they're both just a really good neutral game, a build. Now cons. Now while I know there are many ways to instantly destroy the crystals, whether it's dead messenger, any kind of wave frame. Oh my god, I'm blanking here. Wither horde and tractor cannon, those are really good, but they also require you also have a limited amount of ammo to use it. So rending is really necessary here. I know it's like a second slower, but it really does help in the end game, or whenever you run out of ammo and you need to shatter the crystals. That's the way to do it, is use a primary. And also, healing is a big issue with this build. The only way to really heal is obviously with Whisper of Rhyme, but when you get to higher end-game content, it's not really going to help you that much because I don't think you can out-heal the damage. But I could be wrong about that. I haven't really tried it in end-game content, but I don't think it would help that much. And on both sides of the build, they don't really have, they don't do that well in ability uptime, although that could be user error. And my stat distribution is not where it could be for that, but that's really the main problems they have with it. But overall, it's a really good neutral game build. It's really fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So that's it for me. The rest of the gameplay is just going to be some strike gameplay. And as always, have a good one.